Students, let's start with a new chapter, Introduction to Euclid's Geometry. This chapter is not from examination point of view, but this will be helpful for further chapters of geometry. So I am just giving an introduction of this chapter and I will discuss the main points of this chapter. Students, the word geometry is derived from the Greek words geo meaning earth and metrine meaning to measure. Geometry appears to have originated from the need of measuring land. Ancient Egyptians were the first people to study geometry. The knowledge of geometry passed from the Egyptians to the Greeks, and many Greek mathematicians worked on geometry. Thales and Pythagoras were among them. Euclid was the first Greek mathematician who initiated a new way of thinking the study of geometry. He assumed certain properties which were not to be proved. These assumptions are actually obvious universal truths. He divided them into two types, axioms and postulates. He used the term postulate for the assumptions that were specific to geometry. Common notions, often called axioms, on the other hand, were assumptions used throughout mathematics and not specifically linked to geometry. Now let's study about Euclid axioms. First, things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. For example, if line segment AB is equal to CD and CD is equal to EF, then AB is equal to EF. Second, if equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. For example, angle ABC is equal to angle DEF. Then angle ABC plus angle XYZ is equal to angle DEF plus angle XYZ. Third one, if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. For example, if 4x is equal to 5y, we are subtracting 2 from both sides. That is 4x minus 2 is equal to 5y minus 2. Fourth, things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. For example, if AB and C are 3 points on line and B lies between A and C, then AB plus BC is equal to AC because AC coincide with AB plus BC. Fifth, the whole is greater than the part. For example, if x is equal to y plus z where y and z not equal to 0, then x is always greater than y and x is always greater than z. Sixth, things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. For example, if y is equal to 2x and z is also equal to 2x, then y is equal to z. Seventh, things which are halves of the same things are equal to one another. For example, y is equal to half of x and z is also equal to half of x, then y is equal to z. Now let's discuss Euclid's 5 postulates. First one, a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. Note that this postulate tells us that at least one straight line passes through two distinct points, but it does not say that there cannot be more than one such line. However, in his work, Euclid has frequently assumed, without mentioning, that there is a unique line joining two distinct points. We state this result in the form of an axiom as given two distinct points, there is unique line that passes through them. Now see the figure here. How many lines passing through P also passing through Q? Only one, that is the line PQ. How many lines passing through Q also passing through P? Only one, that is the line PQ. Thus, the statement above is self-evident and is so as taken as an axiom. Next postulate. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Note that we call a line segment nowadays is what Euclid called a terminated line. So according to the present day terms, the second postulate says that a line segment can be extended on either side to form a line. Third postulate, a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Fourth, all right angles are equal to one another. Now, fifth postulate. If a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of angles is less than two right angles. Let me discuss this with the figure here. In the figure, the line PQ falls on lines AB and CD such that sum of the interior angles 1 and 2 is less than 180 on the left side of PQ. Therefore, the lines AB and CD will eventually intersect on the left side of PQ. I think you have understood these axioms and postulates, and that's all for today. Thank you.